Hi, this is Ben with Accura Outdoors, and today we are working on the Dillion 550C. So previously, we had set up the bench and got this all mounted. We are using an inline fabrication ultimate mount. This allows us to have the bullet tray, also has the casings and completed ammunition. In this setup, we're going to show you how to load or get your press set up for probably one of the most popular rounds right now. So the two rounds that I've seen that most people are setting up are 9 and 223. So right now, 9 dies are a little bit hard to find, so I know some of you guys are loading 223, so let's get set up on this. So first, this is the Dillion 550C, and we're going to show you how to get this set up. When it comes in, it will be set up with a small primer. We'll go through into more in detail with each setup, but for this video we're going to focus on setting your dies because that's kind of the more involved and there's a lot of back and forth with it. I am using a set of Dillion steel dies. These come in a 3 set. Sometimes you can get a 2 set where it is the decap and then the seat and crimp. I have been told and recommended to get the seat. So our audio got cut off here, but I'm explaining that I've been told that having a separate seat and crimping die is better, so that way you don't have to worry about timing, and also that you can adjust both the same. So we're going to start with the decap and sizing die. This one's fairly easy. What I do is when I go to set it on, I take off the little clip that goes on top because it'll clear the powder funnel or the powder station if you have that installed. First, you're going to start screwing it in, and then you're going to bring the shell plate all the way to the top. According to the manual, it says that you need to screw this down until it touches the shell plate. So we're going to screw this down until it touches, and then we'll lock it in place. The only thing you're going to have to really worry about with this one is the length of the decapping pin, mainly to make sure that it's going to punch all the way through. So we're going to screw this all the way down until it touches. Looks like there we go. And we're using the Dillion bench wrench. It's a pretty handy tool. It's got a 1 inch on one side, 7/16 on the other, and it's cut at a low profile so that you can get to the dies. So we'll get this set, and we're gonna lock it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. And throw that pin back in that goes in the top with a little clip. And then we're all going down. So this is all set. The next one we're going to go to is the powder side. And on this one, it's fairly easy. We're going to make sure that it articulates. The biggest thing is you want to make sure there's no powder in your powder drop. So this is the fail-safe rod. It goes in from left to right through those 2 plates, and then it'll go on through the clip on the other side. Mainly what we're watching for is when the bullet goes up, or the shell casing goes up, that it's articulating the mechanics so that it goes all the way forward and then all the way back. With a rifle die, it doesn't need to have flare to it, so that way it makes it a little bit easier. So we're just going to make sure that it articulates. So you just want to have an empty case in, go up and watch it go articulate. And if you look at it at the top, it had about 1/4 of an inch left to go. So the only way you adjust that is you're going to loosen the nut on here right there, and then we're going to screw the body down a little bit more so that it can actuate a little bit farther. If you can see how it needs to go forward just a little bit. So we're going to adjust that and make it work all the way, and then we'll move on to the seating die, which is the next step. Okay. So we're going to have your seating die. It should say it on the die. And the other thing you're going to need is a completed round. So I had a Winchester green tip on hand. checking the overall length, and it looks like it should be about what we're looking for, but it'll give us a good spot to start. So we're going to throw that in, move it all the way to the top, and we're going to screw the seating die until it just touches the bullet. So this part's going to be all on feel, so you don't want to screw it in tight enough to where you're seating the bullet further. So once it touches, you want to make sure that it's there. We're going to then make sure it goes to the length. So when you're setting the bullet, you want to make sure that it crimps on or seats at the cantilever. That way, so that when you crimp it, it has more of a surface to touch or grab onto, and you're not going to worry about the bullet being pushed in when it's going through, say, an AR-15. So what you can do is you can take the measurement from the cantilever to the tip of the bullet, and then take the overall length of the case and add those together to get what the desirable overall length is. So here we are measuring it. So go from about the middle of the cantilever to the top, you get your measurement, add it to the case, and you'll get your overall length for that bullet setup. And then we're going to set the bullet. All right, so this should be pretty close. So we're going to do a test round, make sure that it's about where we're wanting it. So for now, we're going to pull the completed round out, and we're going to swap it out for an empty case with a bullet. And we'll set that. All right, so it looks like we got it right about where we wanted it, right about the middle of the cantilever. So it should be all set. So now we're going to do the final stage, which is the crimp. The crimp's a fairly easy one. It's kind of the same as the seating as far as setting it up. So we're going to take our completed round we just did, and we're going to run it up to the top, and then we're also going to take our crimp die and we're going to set that down until it touches the bullet. And according to the Dillion manual, it states it to start off, you want to, after you've set the bullet where it touches, or set the die and touches the bullet, you want to go advance about 1/8 of a turn to start out, and then you want to check your crimp after to make sure it's the amount that you need. So depending on if you want a heavy crimp or a light crimp, I try to go on the light side, mainly just because I don't want to over crimp it and potentially increase the pressure of the bullet already. So lighter is better as long as it holds the bullet in place while it's cycling through the next round. So we're trying to test to make sure that works. Now we're going to test it. We're going to run it up and make sure that the crimp looks good. So all right, go up, go back, check it. And it looks like it's a little light, so we're just gonna increase it just about another 1/8 of a turn. We'll lock this die back in place. And that should be all set. Yeah, looks like it should be good. Yep, everything looks good. So we can push it on something to test it, make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. So I put quite a bit of pressure and it's not going anywhere. So thank you for watching. Sorry about the audio issues. Hopefully the narration helped a little bit on what we're doing. Next video should be a little bit better. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you on the range.